Hey, good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us here on our YouTube special newscast where we talk about the news, not just tell you and talk at you, but we really want to respond and talk about why it matters. I'm Joel Dean, the place to be tonight, and here is our menu of topics. Real trouble for fake pics. We have a major development in that story we've been following out of Lancaster County. A naked murder, question mark. Very interesting details have come out about a murder recently that happened. Flipping crazy, that's more of a something you got to see to believe. Zuzu comes through. Yes, It's a Wonderful Life. Zuzu, the classic young daughter of Jimmy Stewart's character in that. We had her on the show earlier today, and it's going to melt your heart. And then we have a good weather forecast because it can't be much worse than it's been recently, right? All right, let's start things off. There you go. Real trouble for fake pics. We're going to bring in our reporter, Maxine Rose, on this. This is Lancaster Country Day School. And we've talked about this for a few weeks now. These pictures that were altered of classmates and what is going to happen here. They altered the pictures to make the females appear nude. It got around. This is child pornography in some ways. So what's going to really happen here? We got a break in this case tonight that I want to tell you about. Maxine, get us up to date on where we stand.
Yeah, well, currently, Joel D., we know that there's a nearly 500 combined counts of sexual abuse against these two boys. And this just comes over a year now after the two students allegedly created AI-generated nude images like we just spoke about nearly 50 girls impacted. Now, I spoke with one of the parents of those victims tonight. She wanted to remain anonymous to kind of shield her daughter's identity.
Sure.
But she did say that after hearing the news of all of this, there is some sense of relief among most of the parents here, but there's still kind of some questions. And those questions are surrounding the mandatory reporting requirement here. So we know that the school never reported to police, and police did say that in their release today. We know that parents were the ones to notify police of what happened of those images that circulated.
I'm going to jump in for a second here. Let me jump in.
Yeah.
Based on what you said. Is there any reporting or information that the school knew?
Is there any reporting that the school knew? Yes, there is report. Yes, that the school was aware that this was going on. There was a safe to say tip to the child line. But parents are saying to me that they never did anything with it. And police do confirm that.
The other piece of information we had earlier on, and this was just the initial report I got, you're a little more into this, that the school has not been held accountable by police because this was basically student to student in terms of any possible crimes, and that it didn't involve a third party or I guess it didn't involve using the school to make this happen. Is that right? Is that part of what we're seeing?
Yeah, so the term they used in the release was child to child. So, that is not part of the definition of child abuse under Pennsylvania law as it stands right now. Now, what we do know is that there was a bill recently passed that talks about AI-generated images and what that kind of means for just child involvement there and police to get involved there. But that doesn't really go into effect until December 20th. So essentially that kind of leaves the school in a sense off the hook for now.
Right. And the parents still want accountability in some form or another. I mean, this is a private school. They could all leave too. I mean, that could be something down the road that ends up happening. I realize they'd rather probably clean it up. They're at the school for a reason, but this is a private school. You have options. So we'll see if this affects enrollment in the future. Anything else you want to add before we let you get back to work?
What we do know also is that the DA is really just pressing legislators to kind of continue looking into this. As I said before, that bill making AI child porn a felony, but also going a little bit further and talking about mandatory reporting. So we'll keep looking into that and trying to figure out exactly what the details
Seems like
are
a loophole that can maybe close up to try to head this stuff off, because this is new technology that's making this happen. Unfortunately, the laws usually come a little late. They come in reaction to stuff, and this is one of those things that we see, and then the reaction comes. But it's a good follow-up today, and big break in this case. Maxine Rose, we will see you tonight on the news at 10 and 11. Thanks for the update.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's get to topic number 2, naked murder ? This is a heck of a story when you really read through the details right here. And once again, we're learning more about this. A woman charged with murder after she was seen running naked and covered in blood in Harrisburg Wednesday evening, according to police. So this was just last night. Tajia Greer, 29-year-old out of Harrisburg, arrested and charged with the death of a man following the investigation by Harrisburg police. Now, she allegedly admitted a man that she got into an altercation with is now dead. Now, you're looking at our web story here. You see a bloody handprint that's actually on that vehicle right there that we got courtesy of Ratchet News right there. So the deal is the Dauphin County coroner has identified the victim as Michael Thompson, a 66-year-old from Harrisburg. Cause of death, stab wounds. That is the woman who is being charged right there. Manner of death ruled homicide. So she's been arrested and charged. We will see some more details of this, but just imagine a person running, shows up naked with blood on her, and she ends up being the one charged. Just a wild story right there, and I'm sure we'll learn more as we move down the road on this one, and we'll let you know when we do learn more. Okay, we are 2 in to our menu here. How about flipping crazy? Flipping crazy, what does that mean? Well, I want you to see this right here. Interesting picture. Makes you wonder, how did this happen? You see in the distance, that is actually a car that is upside down. Yeah, on its roof right there. And that's the aftermath of a rollover crash in the city of York late last night. This is State and Philadelphia Street around 7:45 is when it happened. We got some video from a neighbor, it looks like right here. Nobody hurt in that wreck. One of the drivers involved arrested on suspicion of driving under the influence. No charges yet. They're waiting for the blood test results to go with that. Once again, this is completely a guess on my behalf, but in covering a lot of this stuff, sometimes the people that are involved in DUI crashes are not hurt because they're inebriated at the time. We do not know that at all. I'm just saying in the past, that has been a pattern that I've seen. We will learn more about this and let you know for sure. Okay, that's flipping crazy. This next thing was flipping crazy in a completely different way, and it melted my heart. Zuzu comes through. This was amazing. All right, let me set this up for you.
It's sort of
Carolyn Grimes is the woman right there on the right, okay? So she played Zuzu a million years ago in It's a Wonderful Life. She's now 84 years old, and she sells nostalgic Christmas ornaments at shows like this, right? So this is at the PA Farm Show. It's the Christmas show, and they do this, for a couple days. And on live TV, she was asked by Yasmin Cowan, did a great job with this. Can you say the words that touched all of us as we've seen this movie a million times? She's the one in the arms of Jimmy Stewart's character at the very end of the show when he's realized it is a wonderful life. He has Zuzu's petals, and then they hear that ring, that bell in the distance. And then she says this.
life matters, and we can all make a difference. I think that's the main message of the whole movie. And of course, if you haven't seen it, there is a little line at the end of the movie, and it involves a bell.
Can you say it?
Yeah.
Say your famous line.
Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
Oh, come on. I mean, come on. Does that not melt your heart? See that she had a Z on her brooch right there, on her necklace, Z, Zuzu. So yeah, you can tell she said that line a million times, and it gets a great reaction each time. And an angel got their wings tonight when you heard that. Tom Russell, I know he's a fan of that movie. That probably melted his heart a little bit as well. You smile when you see Zuzu all these years later, still making people happy.
That's pretty impressive, man. And I know she comes to that show, I think every year here when it comes to Harrisburg. And I've always wanted to meet her, but to hear her deliver that line, that is really, really cool. That's awesome. piece of
Something that's cooler
cinematic.
than that has been the weather, but not in a great way,
Yeah.
my friend.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, let's talk about the cold. Still windy, Joel D. No more wind advisory, but it's still plenty windy and cold. Here's what it looks like as we head into the weekend. 34 for the high tomorrow. It'll feel like teens even during the day. Low 20s at best. So another windy, cold day, lots of wind chill. And then you see Saturday with the 38, but look at this, 50 by Sunday. So there is a warm up as we head into next week. The trade-off is we get wet. So warmer but wet on Monday with some rain showers, little break Tuesday, another round of rain as we head into Wednesday next week. It does get colder at the end of next week, but pretty impressive. I don't know if we have the graphic, but there's a couple of wind speeds I wanted to share with you. We were in the 40s for some of the peak wind speeds today. HIA also at York in 45, 48 miles per hour. So pretty impressive winds. Bitterly cold again tomorrow, but then we warm things up. Back to you, my friend.
I want to thank the trash folks, the garbage.
They got the job done despite the conditions.
They had to deal with a lot. And in particular, my folks, they turned my garbage can around so the wind was hitting the back of it, not the inside, to then blow it down the road. So they took the time to actually like do that.
Hey,
but I know they're facing the elements.
I got one for you. Every time the wind blows, the trash goes where it wants to go. Is that the same as?
That's not going to hold true for the next 60 years.
Cinematic history, no?
No, work on that. Zuzu's pedals. I got Zuzu's pedals. Oh, man. All right. Well, it's a wonderful life hanging out with you. Not so much with your weather, but we'll see you a little bit later on, too. Thanks.
All right, bud.
All right, folks, we did it. We got through this. A good list of stuff here. Some real serious stuff, some very interesting stuff, some dangerous stuff, some emotionally awesome stuff, and your weather. All right, that'll do it for us tonight. I'm Joel Dean, The Place to Be, and The Place to Be is on YouTube with you. I appreciate you guys watching, getting the news in a different way, and make sure you're watching and putting on those notifications and following us and liking this video as well. That'll help you know exactly when it's on. We try to come on around the same time, but sometimes the news does some wacky things to us. So keep aware, set on those notifications, and you'll be able to watch this as soon as it comes out and be ahead of the news. I'm Joel D. Smith. We will see you on the air down the road.